You too. I missed the first two episodes of Snowfall. So I was busy on the highway last week in Detroit, hanging out in the snow, mind you. But I'm back now, and man, this is a good show as well. Whew, it's been on fire. And the questions I have is, can Franklin Saint, can he actually trust Teddy? That's what he wants to be called now. He done got a new persona. So does that mean new motives, new operandi? A lot of things with Teddy. The family dynamic, him, and Louie, seems a little fractured. Louie wants her own independence. And Franklin's like, nah, you need to stay underneath this umbrella. And have you guys picked up on the fact that Franklin Saint, he keeps making little small innuendos about the fact he's going to have a kid. In the scene with Gustavo, he was talking about the kid. In the very last epic scene, where my man was starting to sound like a British Denzel, ladies and gentlemen, that speech he made to Louie was all about his kid. And we're going to talk about all the good things going on with Snowfall and what they're doing this season. Great, great show. But let me bring in one of my homies, the OG. We can call him Ump too. We want to. Uh-oh. Well, that OG just disappeared. And in the tradition of OGs, they tend to have a little issues with their technology. So we'll wait for that uncle to come back. He'll be in here with us in a minute. But having said those things, I just want to hear from the people. How have you guys enjoyed season 5 so far of Snowfall? It's been good for me. And in the building right now, we've got Bucky, who says, I hope Saint realizes what's going on and goes full spook who sat by the door. I think he will. Mally Lee, hello everyone. What's up? Black Fox, my homie. Y'all better stand up for the sister Black Fox. She says, hey y'all, hammers and hellos. And then we got lovely Ree. Hello, I love it. Me too. And ladies and gentlemen, the living legend he's in the building. Larry.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I can't call it, man. Tired, but I'm here.
Man, I'll tell you, boy, these technical issues sometimes, man. Technical issues are for young people. Old folks, we need stuff just to work right.
That's what I was telling them. I had jokes while you was gone. but at the same time, we can't expect this to happen to you, Larry. You're a tech man.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to have the best of everything, and it works when it works, but when it doesn't, it decides it just wants to go off on its own.
Hey, trust me, bro. I know the feeling. So, Larry, you've seen all these episodes of Snowfall. How you feeling about the way they've got this season kicked off? And let me apologize to my subscribers that I didn't get a chance to do the first 2 episodes. I'm here now. And we're going to keep it fire. I got nicknames. I got jokes. And we're going to take this thing to the next level. So, Big Larry, give me your assessment. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I'm really, really loving this season so far, man. There's so much tension, like everywhere. There's just tension. It's like there's tension between Scully and his people. There's tension between Teddy and basically everyone. Yeah. There's tension between I think Unc and Louie are pretty good, but between Louie and Franklin, man, that's really tough. There's still that tension between Franklin and Leon. Oof. Man, I feel you. I'm not saying that they're fractured, but they're definitely not that tight-knit unit that they once were.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they fractured, Larry. If you're not as tight as you originally started, you fractured. It might be a micro fracture, but it's still a fracturing. And so
it's a hairline fracture.
Yeah. A hairline like LeBron James hairline fracture. Yeah.
They're shin splints.
Yeah. But Larry, how is this show able? And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into it piece by piece in a minute. I just haven't talked to my man in a minute, and we've had 3 episodes, so I need to catch up with you guys. Larry, how are they able to keep this writing dynamic, entertaining, intriguing? Oh, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, if Black Fox come through one more time, I'm going to officially say she is my #1 super fan, maybe #2, because somebody from Hightown has got to be #1. I can't tell y'all why right now, but no. Black Fox, you're moving in very close to being like 1A, 1B with my Hightown people. Sister, I appreciate you for that super chat. Loves this channel. This channel loves you. And let me give you something to say thank you. Since Larry's here, I give him and you both what you both want.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all!
Burn it
right,
all!
Black Fox. You my girl. I appreciate it. You set this channel on fire, and I'm very grateful. But yeah, Larry, so how are they able to keep this writing so good? Not once in any of the seasons I've watched this have I felt like I'm watching a primetime soap opera. What's the magic here?
Man, either they're paying people really, really good to get the best writers, or the people writing are just super dedicated and giving it all, man. Just giving it their all, because you're right. The writing on here is just so top notch. It's just every single episode of this entire show is just really, really good. The stories are tight. The language is good. Everything just feels, and being somebody that's from LA, it feels really true. You know?
Yeah. It's been good, man. It's a treat. I'm glad you guys talked me into watching this. I've been missing out. I can't lie.
Yeah.
This is why I say you have to expand your horizons, because sometimes you'll be missing out on something that's good and you don't even know you're missing out. And I've been missing out, man. So I'm glad to be here. And having said that, Larry, let's entertain the people and talk a little Snowfall.
Let's do it.
True Life Games form. I got to give y'all a couple of clips that caught my eye. This one deserves some kind of a TV show Emmy for this outstanding piece of acting. Take a look at this, Larry.
What would you like, Queen Louie? What's gonna make you happy? Because nothing seems to do it for you.
How about not being under anybody's thumb, nephew?
Well, I hate to break it to you, but everybody's got to answer to somebody. And me, I answer to the man who may have disappeared, my fucking father, and who will do the same to us if we don't move this product. Now, I don't know about y'all two, but I'd like to stay alive long enough to enjoy what I've made. So from here on out, I don't want to hear anything else about kilos or prices. Y'all want to go out on your own? Fine, but do not for 1 second fuck around with what I got to do to get mine, because I promise you, there is nothing I'm not prepared to do.
Woo!
Let me drop my mic. Larry, let me drop my mic. And I know what that brother is going through. He's about to be a daddy. And he's worried about his legacy and his future. When I was getting ready to have baby L, encounters that threatened me or my wife made me feel the same exact way. No, the hell you ain't. No. No. Do I need to go to the trunk? No, you're not. And
not the trunk.
No, I was going to the trunk, bro. Well, the front, because it's in the front of the Tesla. I was like, no. But Larry, what he said to Louie is absolutely true. No matter how rich you are, no matter how much of a billionaire you are, everybody, including me, including you, everybody answers to somebody. Larry, talk about that scene, my brother. Somebody.
Yeah, that was some really, really nice acting right there. And it was so good on so many levels, because he's trying to let them know, like, look, I feel your frustration. I get it. You want to be independent, but that is not how this thing works. None of us are independent. We are all interdependent, you know? And
to some degree.
And at the same time, he was letting them know, like, don't threaten what I have. And he kind of was basically like, Louie, I love you, your family, but I will kill you. I will destroy you if you get in my way. I mean, that was just heavy. That was just, and they all know, they've all talked about it at some time or another, so behind his back, really, basically, of how ruthless he can be. And so they have to know, I don't really want to step in his path, because if I do, unless I'm prepared to kill him, he will kill me, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
he ain't playing, bro. He is not playing. And right now, he kind of feels like his back is up against the wall. Now, that clip, ladies and gentlemen, was at the end of the episode. And there was a lot of things that happened in this episode that led up to that frustration that bubbled out on Franklin in the very end. A whole lot of stuff happened. And we're going to go through it right now, Larry. So let me drop you on the first scene, Larry. Very first scene, we start out with Franklin Saint telling the crew that the price that he had promised them $9K a kilo, he can't do it because Grady is dead because of Teddy, who is now wants to be called Teddy. And Louie is like, bruh, let me talk to him. I talked to him before. Maybe I can make things happen. Larry, talk to me about this scene, man. Well, what was right? What was wrong? The tension in the room. Drop us a dime, brother.
Yeah, there were a few things that came to me as soon as I saw this scene. First thing I saw when I saw this, I was like, somebody needs to go ahead and get this brother an undershirt. That's one.
Damn, bruh. I'm
just saying,
man, bruh. What?
Somebody needs to get the brother an undershirt, man. You can't have your nipples all out there like that, man.
He trying to flex, man. He trying to flex that British chest. He been in there doing push-ups, bro. He want to flex that British chest.
Oh, man. The other thing was, when I saw this, I was like, either he's not feeling real secure around his own people, or he's just trying to make like sort of a power move flex to have that gun on him right there. Because I was like, if at any time you don't need a gun, it's right in that room with your own people. Everybody surrounding you is your own people. You should not need a gun right there. And the fact that he's got one full frontal like that just says either one, he's not feeling real confident, or he's just trying to flex. And I'm just, either way, I don't like it. You shouldn't need to flex in front of your people like that, and you shouldn't feel insecure either.
Could be both, Larry. I can't tell you the weight of him about to be a dad. That's heavy on him. That's heavy. And I think it's both. I think he's feeling a little unsure of his family. And this thing going on with Teddy and Grady is bothering him. And there's still that mystery in his mind. Did he kill Alton? That mystery is still looming. You know, he hasn't gotten closure on that just yet, Larry.
Yeah, I think he pretty much knows that he did. I think he pretty much knows Teddy killed him. Teddy's never going to say it out loud. Oh, he might, but I seriously doubt it. But I think at this point, I feel like he can't really say it and continue to work together, because he sat there across from the table and told a bold-faced lie that he had nothing to do with it when we know that he did. And so at this point, he can't really ever tell him without ruining their relationship altogether. So, but I think Franklin knows. He's just never going to actually get it out of Teddy's mouth.
So let me make sure I'm clear with this, Larry, before we go to the next one. You are 100% sure Alton is dead?
Yeah, I'm going to say he's dead. I mean, as far as we know, Teddy rolled. I mean, we see how Teddy rolls. He rolled up in there, and you know, Alton had dimed him out. He had dimed out a lot of other people. I don't think anybody was going to care that Alton got killed. The CIA may actually even appreciate it. The only thing that may cause him some grief is that it happened on Cuban soil. But I mean, that was the other thing. We know that Teddy started his career off working in Cuba. He was working with those revolutionaries in Cuba. So we knew that. I mean, that's his stomping ground. He knows how to get in and out of Cuba. He has contacts. He knows how to find people. I mean, if I'm Franklin, I mean, he knows some of this information. So I'm thinking to myself, he knows all that information. I'm thinking to myself, if anybody was going to be able to go and get him there, it was going to be him. It was going to be Teddy. So,
Larry,
I think he's dead. You don't think he's dead?
No, I don't think he's dead. But let me take my notes because I'll be writing notes down now, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and say, me and Larry think he's dead. I think he's alive, and we'll see before this season is over with. So you guys know I take my notes so I can keep up with what's going on. And now this was funny, Larry. This was so we get to meet up. We get to meet up with this guy. I'm gonna call him Carmelo because I love the car he got out of. His name is Mello. And I would give him a more bona fide nickname, but his ass ain't last long enough. You know, he was a two-pump chump. Anyway, he gets out here and Louie is telling him, look, man, I can't get you them keys for what I said I was going to get them. So they pulling out guns. They talking about Scully going to be upset. Somebody's going to be hell to pay. You don't know when you see Scully if it's Scully having a yoga session or if it's Scully talking to the devil. Larry, break down Mello and his intentions. What the hell was going on, brother?
First of all, I would not have done business with Mello. I would have straight up been like, nah, bro, I'm not dealing with you. I would have went and called Scully and said, yo, you can't have your mans and them show up to a drug deal driving a Ferrari Testarossa in the hood.
Thank you.
No. That's not gonna happen. Tell him he needs to go get himself a Ford LTD, maybe go hit the auto auction, get you a little Toyota Corolla, get something that's gonna run well and is totally indescript, but do not show up in some back alley industrial area where we're doing drug deals in a Ferrari.
Larry,
I mean, come on.
And what makes it so bad, Larry, while I'm calling him Carmelo, because of his car, did you see the car his homeboys was driving the same damn Bronco O.J. Simpson was trying to escape on the highway with? Yeah. So you pull up in that, you already letting Louie and Unc know you trying to flex. You're already doing it. And Larry, they picked up on it just like that.
They really did. They played him. Woo. They played him like the chump that he is.
Fiddle. Like a French fiddle. Boy, they was just you. They were playing his ass. But it gets better, Larry. It gets better. Then we get on to this scene where Franklin is talking to V about having to sell the house that Grady was in because Teddy's back. Now, at this moment, Larry, V's keeping cool, keeping calm, and so is Franklin for the most part, even though he's got those questions in his head. How are you liking the dynamic and the balance that V is bringing Franklin in this season?
Man, I like her character. I don't like the way they style her. She looks like a backup singer on the Chitlin circuit in the 50s or something, man. I don't like her styling that they have for her. And the way, Franklin, I think Franklin would want somebody that's a little bit more polished. Like she looks regular. She looks real regular. But I like her. I like the way go ahead.
I think that's what he wants. And even though she looks regular, what she's know not. Upstairs ain't right. And I think that's what Franklin wants.
Now, the only reason why I kind of don't have a problem with it is because she actually sort of reminds me of Franklin's mom, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so, as we know, men often have a tendency to lean towards women who remind them of their mothers. And she reminds me of Franklin's mom. So that might be part of the attraction.
I can see that. And the mom was doing real estate. She's doing real estate. And she's a lawyer. She gives him, have you noticed, she tries to read Franklin when things are going bad. The same way a mother would try to read their son. Come talk to me, baby. Only difference is V said, let me sex you up to give you dopamine. The mama ain't gonna do that. You know? But I get that. I get that from him a little bit. And do you think, Larry, we are going to, well, I know we are, but what episode are we going to see Franklin reunited with his mother this season?
Man, I don't know if we are. It may happen like maybe really towards the last part of the season, like maybe episode 9, 10, maybe, because I'm thinking he has all that cash, right? And he needs to make a run down to, I think what did he say, down to Panama or something. So,
he's got to get down there, man.
So at some point he might load that plane up and fly himself to Panama with all that cash. And he might then take the opportunity to tell his mom, hey, why don't you meet me in Panama while I'm out there? But I don't know, man. I don't know if we're actually going to see her back this season.
Okay, let me write this down too. Ladies and gentlemen, my notes. Larry don't think we're going to see Sissy. Lamont says we're going to see Sissy and the daddy. I'm telling you, Larry, watch what happens.
You think we're getting both of them?
We getting both of them.
What about Homegirl? What about Homegirl from Texas? The little yellow girl used to be his neighbor.
Let me think about that. Let me think about that. I got to think. I'm trying to let the story go. I got to see how it goes. Let me think about that.
I love the way they keep Wanda in the mix, though. I'm loving how they keep her in the mix.
But Larry, that's scary. That's very scary. We don't know what direction they're going to take. We'll get to her in a minute.
I hope they don't take her down a dark path. I know people can relapse. I just hope they don't do it. I like Wanda. I've always liked Wanda. I liked Wanda before she became a crackhead. I was rooting for her to get clean when she was a crackhead, and I like her again now she's clean.
Larry, she's just right now. Wanda is in a precarious situation. Yeah. She's desperate for money, but at the same time, she's fighting a demon. And anyone who's had any kind of addiction knows that even on your strongest days, sometimes you can come in contact with something that makes you weak if you don't have the right support system around you to help you keep progressing.
Right.
Franklin Saint, I wouldn't exactly call him a social worker, Larry. For crying out loud. And you about to work with his ass? I just think somebody's going to back Wanda in the corner. Could be Teddy, and use her against her will, Larry. We'll get there, though. We'll get there.
Yeah.
You got your boy Unc. And ladies and gentlemen, I love Unc. I love everything about Unc's style. The only thing I don't like about Unc is if I was standing beside him, I would not want to smell his damn hair. But other than that,
that Jerry curl.
This my guy right here. And he's in here, he's talking to Carmelo Anthony. And basically, Melo is telling him, look, Scully losing his mind. 1 minute he praying to Jesus. Next minute he's sitting talking to Cleo thinking she a therapist. And what happens from that is, Larry, they roll up in the hood.
Oof. And
this is what Louie and Unc see as they going up here. Yo man got people in these streets butterball naked looking like the male version of the females that was in New Jack City, all right? And Carmelo lets them know that tomorrow is Tiana's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And he is so frustrated with Unc and Louie that he takes little buddy right here, Larry, and slice his fucking ear off. I said, damn, this dude. Who want to be in business with that? And Unc said, look, bro, look, I got heat. I can roast y'all if I need to. But instead of the roasting, we get an ear that's loafing. Break it down, Larry. Take the wheel, brother. Man.
This is what I just don't understand. Why are these fools still there? Why do they live in this complex? Why do you not just say, you know what? I think I'm going to go get me a 2-bedroom in Pacoima. Why are you still there? Go do something else.
So Larry, let me, because I don't know California like that. Is Pacoima middle class? Where's Pacoima?
Yeah, Pacoima, but it's out in the valley. It's in the valley. It's middle class. It's an affordable middle class place. You can live out there without breaking the bank. But it's just like, I just don't understand why you would stay there with that crazy man. I mean, this dude is like, he's literally insane. And he's biblically insane. He's spiritually insane. The dude is just psychologically, chemically imbalanced. The dude is nuts. Yeah. I would not want to be anywhere near him. And I don't understand why these dudes just don't be like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm out. I'm gonna go deal with somebody else. I'm gonna go work out in the valley or go out to the Inland Empire. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go do something else somewhere else because I really like to keep both my ears. And I don't want to wake up every day wondering if this fool had a bad dream or dreamed about Tiana or something. And now he's on some crazy rage talking about the Old Testament type vengeance.
Larry, do you think I'm literally going to sit here knowing that this dude swinging swords like Shinobi Like, I mean, like he's fucking Ninja Gaiden with a blindfold on. And his hands is not cuffed up. Larry, I'm not going to be sitting there for you to wield your sword. You're going to have to shoot me because I'm not about to just sit there and let you chop off my ear. Hell,
if he had a fro, he could be Afro Samurai.
Bruh, I mean, damn, bro. Boy, I'll tell you. And then
Scully needs to get that hate out of his whore. That's what he needs.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. But I was going to use that line toward the end. But for real, he need to get that hate up out his heart, man. What in the hell? And he's talking to his man Carmelo about the stench of a possum and how a possum plays possum. And he asking Melo about Unc and Louie. How did you define this exchange between him and Carmelo?
Yeah, this was real. This is one of those things where when I look at this and I think to myself, my God, the writing on this show is so good. And I don't know who wrote this dialogue, who wrote these scenes, but man, they must have had to have gone to a really twisted, dark place to come up with this type of stuff. And I know this brother's not one of the type of actors that's going to get real shine in Hollywood. Like he's not going to get Emmy nods and stuff. But this is one of those things where this dude should be getting Emmy consideration for his performance as Scully. This dude's performances are so good.
They have been great.
I cannot imagine that. I mean, if you look at this dude and you see what he's done in this space and with this role, I don't understand how Hollywood is not saying, we need to get this dude. We need to get him immediately and get him working. Because, I mean, right now, I can guarantee you, he's not making a ton of money. He's not a household name. If you're going to grab this dude and snatch him up, this is the time to do it. You know.
Look, Larry, I'm with you, man. Last season he should have gotten the award. He played the hell out the role. Maybe the problem with him is he looks like a carbon copy of Cuba Gooding Jr. only with slick back hair. And they blackballing Cuba Gooding right now. They ain't feeling his ass because of his rape allegations. But
I didn't know all that.
This brother is killing it. Do you hear me? I was hoping the whole time this episode, I was like, please don't let Scully die. Please don't let him die. And for a minute there, I was worried. But it got to a point when I started reading the tea leaves, and I was like, okay, he ain't going to die. But yeah, I'm with you, Larry. Dude absolutely needs some Emmy consideration. Yeah. Hollywood, you're listening because I done pulled y'all's ear back. Help this brother out, give him some consideration so we can see him in more stuff. Hell, Larry, I want to see him in the MCU. No. Let me take that back. I want to see him in the DCEU. I want him to go see and be a villain because I love this dude being an antagonist. That's where I want to see him go, and he can keep that same hate in his heart.
You know where I wouldn't mind seeing him because he's from LA. He has that complete LA vibe, that LA swag. I would love if they ever actually bring like Power to LA. I would love to see him on one of those shows. I think it would be fantastic. I don't know why they haven't yet already. I mean, we have Power in New York, now Chicago. I feel like LA and Miami should be the two next natural stops. And I would love to see him in the LA version.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, when are we going to get another Fire TV show back in Miami? I'm ready for that to happen with a new spin on it. So let's make that happen. So then we get on with this right here, Larry. Louie and Unc figure out just how damn thirsty Carmelo is for power. Yeah. And this is when they hatched the plan to do some intel on Melo. At this moment, Larry, what was you thinking they was going to do to get this intel on Melo?
Man, I kind of figured that going with the girl route seems like it would be a pretty easy and natural way to do it, to set up a honey trap, because dude is really trying to flex and feel himself. Anybody that's rolling around the damn hood in a Ferrari is trying to be noticed.
Right, bro. Exactly.
I mean, first of all, Ferraris are not everyday drivers.
No,
that is not your everyday car. That's your weekend car. That's the car you go when you take your wife to the club and you want to not have to worry about parking. You go put your spot right up front. That's when you roll the Ferrari. You don't take the Ferrari to your drug dealer, to your grocery store. you know.
Exactly.
So the dude, we see he wants to be noticed. He wants to feel special. And just like they said, I don't know if you've gone there yet, but when they went to the club, there was one point where the two former strippers that became hit ladies.
Hold up. We ain't got there yet, but I mean, if you want to go there, we can go ahead and jump on into that now. So what Larry is referencing for those that are just following us and skim through the show, Louie and Unc had a meeting with the two chicks that basically shot up Louie. Actually, one of the chicks apologized to Louie for shooting her, which I thought
she really did. Wasn't that nice sweet at the end of that exchange?
It was very nice. But basically, they hired these strippers to go and get intel on Melo. And at first, the girls was like, hell no, we ain't going to do it. And then they was like, you do this for us, we even forever. And then we get on with what Larry's saying. We get to the club, and my man is in there. At first, he seems like he's not biting the bait. But then... Ladies and gentlemen, I've always said, and I will continue to say, the most dangerous thing on planet Earth is the human vagina. And he succumbed to it. This fucker paid her $2,000 just to get naked. Yeah. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. In my single days, I wouldn't pay a nickel to see somebody get naked. If I can't do nothing, for what? I don't like being teased. I don't eat appetizers because I don't want to be teased. I need the whole meal. This dude paid $2,000 to flex and see her naked. Now take it away, Larry.
Yeah, I've always said going to strip clubs is like watching somebody cook a steak when you're hungry and knowing you can't eat. You know?
Exactly.
So,
yep.
But this first of all, this scene right here, I was hoping you would have got that the other shot where they were the long shot when they were across the street and they showed them both sitting next to the car because Louie was looking something special there.
Let me pull this down. Boy, Costco, look. Let me tell you now, Larry, you know I have a predilection for brown and darker skins, okay? And this Louie. And there's going to be a scene we're going to talk about when she went to the door of the fake ass Miss Cleo and she started speaking Creole. I was like, "Honey,
yeah, she did.
Come shamal, I'm going to take my money, Louie." So yeah, Louie, she all right. But go ahead, Larry.
Man, yeah, I'll tell you, every time I look at Louie here, I think of two people. I always think that she reminds me of a skinnier, more fit, what's her name? What's the chick from P-Valley? The main Mercedes.
God,
she looks like a skinnier Mercedes.
Yeah.
And she kind of looks like a black version of Pat Benatar too. So, anyhow, I thought this scene was just really nice because Unc was still mad. He was still flexing on him, and they were just like, "You just never gonna let that go." And the one chick, when she was walking away, she said, "I know I didn't say anything yet, and maybe it's too late, but I'm really sorry about shooting you." It was so good because this scene really did such a fantastic job of humanizing them. Because in the beginning, all we saw them was just a couple of friggin' psycho ass murdering strippers that were just blasting fools. That's all they really showed showed us of them, and now we get to see them like regular old just working moms,
parents.
taking their kids to school and dropping them off. The one chick was like, I'm sorry. It was, she was like, I'm glad you did not die or something like that, whatever she said. But she was like, I'm glad you didn't die. So, but I thought that was a nice scene. Louie was looking extra fresh. This dude just got played like a sucker. And the funny thing is because they were talking about, he was in there making it rain and saying after she left, he stayed in there for even longer, was throwing up so much money. They say he was throwing so much money, it was like it was raining in the place.
Yep. Just making it rain for no reason, bruh. Just trying to flex, man. And she got the intel, but of course, she was like, bruh, y'all got to pay me because I don't do Tuesday.
Right.
Hey, I can't knock her hustle. Hell, when you want your off day, you want it off. But them chicks is like, you just came in here, you little rookie. You got paid $2,000 from him to do nothing but get naked, and then you expect us to pay us? Hell yeah, I expect y'all to pay me. This is overtime for me. Strip club don't pay no overtime unless you got a situation like this. So give me my overtime, bitches, is what she was saying, and she got it. Now, Larry, this was a very interesting moment too. So we get to this scene right here, Larry, where Teddy is meeting up with Franklin. And Franklin is looking at Teddy and notices Teddy has stopped smoking. He's got the Nicorette wrapper. And yeah. And I knew they ain't show that for nothing. And as they're having a conversation, Teddy realizes he didn't come here to put the screws on him about the price of the kilo. He basically told him, you got a family issue you need to fix because you done put your ass in the middle of everything. The real question he wanted to know was, did he kill Alton? Teddy, I'm telling you, Larry, I know you don't agree. I think Teddy lied to him. I think Alton is being held somewhere for extra leverage, and we're going to find out later. But what did you take from this exchange between these two?
See, here's the thing. I believe that Teddy, I don't know. When I think about it, I think that he did it because that's the easiest and often what is it, the Occam's razor, whatever they say, the most likely solution, the thing is often the correct one.
Right.
And but here's the thing. I can't recall Teddy ever lying to Franklin. Like, I feel like he's always tells him the truth, even when it's ugly and brutal and scary or what. He seems like he always tells him the truth. And so part of me feels like maybe he didn't. Maybe he got there and he was going to do it, but then didn't do it.
Larry, we can't trust Teddy, man. Look, Teddy, you can't trust him. And I say that, Larry, because you're right. I don't think he's lied to Franklin, but that don't mean that he's told him every single detail.
No, definitely not. If you consider lying as omission, if you consider omission lies, and he's been lying like crazy.
I do consider it a lie. An omission is a lie. A lot of people don't, but I do. And I think Franklin would consider you omitting certain things as a lie. You know, you ain't got to tell me everything, but certain things I'm going to have a reaction to. Damn it, that's a lie. And he sat up there, and I'm glad Franklin is taking strong notice of some of the nuances to this new Teddy. He done quit smoking. He's chewing Nicorette gum, and he ain't really finishing off his coffee the way he used to. And Franklin saw that, and Franklin learned from it. And then Larry, in the very next scene, which was very weird, Teddy, and this is when you had to be thinking too, Larry, something's going on.
Yeah,
Teddy,
he's jumpy.
He's jumpy, and he sends Gustavo to do the drop with Franklin alone. What was you thinking was going to happen with that, Larry? Because I knew something was up. I couldn't tell what was going on in that moment.
Well, we saw why he did it later, because we saw that he wanted to watch this exchange and see if they were talking. And it sounds to me like, it was unclear because we saw that we were able to see in there that Teddy was able to hear them. And so I don't know if he had like some parabolic mic or something, or if he had Gustavo's, mic'd up, or if he had Gustavo's, truck, bugged or something. But we can see the fact that he had headphones. I don't think we saw like a parabolic mic somewhere. So I think maybe Gustavo was wearing a wire, wearing a microphone.
Man, Larry, wait a minute. Now, that's another person who's not really been known for lying. He's been a straight shooter. Gustavo's been a straight shooter.
Gustavo is Teddy's man.
He is Teddy. He's Teddy's man, but he seemed pretty legit with Franklin, though. And I think Gustavo done got a taste of dealing with his kids and some of the regular life. And I can see a change in his character from where he's been in the past. Yeah. So maybe, he might have been wearing a wire or something like that, Larry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Franklin didn't ask him, was he wearing a wire? And he, like
No.
you said, he could have had one of those boom microphones that the old ones that had the glass around it somewhere
parabolic
else
mic.
out. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's like. The joints they use at football games, so you can hear the players on the field when they're doing this stuff. So it's I think it's I mean, he could have been doing that. I mean, we know that Franklin went back there later and saw where he was being watched from, and so I think Gustavo probably knew that he was being watched, and that's why he didn't really say anything and was being careful about what he said. So. And Franklin, when he recognized it, he sort of played along with it too and was like, I'm glad Teddy's back. It's better for business. We can get things back to normal, you know? And it's funny because he said that, but the fact of the matter is that is true. Teddy came back and with just in a matter of a conversation, told Franklin everything he needed to do to regulate his situation. He came in and was like, the keys, the quantity is not the problem. The price is not the problem. The problem is you need to get your house in order, you know? I mean, he really, I mean, just in a conversation, and that just really goes to show, I mean, it's scary to think how good of a drug dealer as Teddy is, but Teddy's been in this game for so long, whether it's dealing drugs or dealing guns or people, whatever, he has been in this game for so long. He is an absolutely wonderful mentor in a terrible, in a terrible way. Like, no, you should not be mentoring people on how to deal drugs, but he is absolutely wonderful at it.
Yep. And as Larry mentioned, because Franklin Saint felt like somebody was up in that building, I'm glad he had the kind of foresight to notice it. He did go back and he saw the evidence. This is that same Nicorette wrapper from Teddy's chewing gum. And he also saw footsteps and all kinds of shit. Then Franklin went to the window and was able to see basically his Cadillac parked in the spot where him and Gustavo was at for the drop. And I think this is the moment when Franklin's like, I really don't know what I'm dealing with at this point. Teddy, you disappeared for a little while. Now you're back. My man Grady is gone. Everything was gravy with Grady. And now you coming in here regulating. Something's different. And Franklin
and he doesn't trust him.
Different.
Franklin, that's the thing that I think that really bothered Franklin right there is that he realized Teddy doesn't trust him right now. You know? Like there's no need to go post up in there and watch and listen if you trust him. But the fact that you set this spot up so that you had a place to go to watch and listen, he doesn't trust him. And
absolutely.
And how do you trust somebody who doesn't trust you? You know, how do you truly trust someone who doesn't trust you? No.
Especially when you're dealing with things of jail, death. Franklin's going to be having a kid and all that. Yeah. I don't know how you deal with it. Family, supposedly you done lost your daddy that you just rekindled yourself with and made a peace with him, and now you done lost him.
Yeah,
bruh. Like you said, and I have to answer to the guy that probably killed my daddy. I gotta give Franklin Saint some credit, man. He playing chess, I believe. And I think he's going to weed this thing out. But Larry, talk to me about this cop, Buckley. Why the hell is he got a bucket of gumbo or collard greens or rutabagas or something in Louie' office?
I don't know. But who the hell I mean, I'm assuming the dude had a hot plate in there because who in the hell is going to bring this big-ass pot in there cooking on someone's desk? It just doesn't make a lick of sense. But they're so familiar with each other. They must know each other, much more than just a business relationship. Like, I don't know if they're family somehow, or if this dude's from the neighborhood or something's up, because it's not just a like when she came in and she was like, look, it's my office, man, respect it. And he was like, he didn't really push back. He was like, okay. And then she just went talking about like, okay, well, what's your dish missing? And went and grabbed a drink. It went from like this little bit of a, you need to respect this joint to just like, okay, now that we've gotten past that, what are you missing in your dish and all this? And I think really it was so familiar that it really just says like there's a previous existing relationship there, beside, and it doesn't seem like it's it doesn't seem sexual. Like he's like in the first, when we first saw him, he seemed like he was flirting a little bit with her, like just sort of. It's sort of like one of those things where he's always probably done it, knowing he's never going to get it, but you got to try. It's sort of like if you go to the club and you see Halle Berry, you may know you never are going to get a shot, but you shoot your shot anyways. You know, because why not? You know, all she's going to do is tell you no, and if she says yes, I mean, what do you have to lose for asking? So, but I think this dude is going to be a serious problem. Not just because he's a cop, because this dude is a junkie. This dude is a cokehead.
Exactly.
And that's going to be a major problem for him.
Yeah. And you saw the way Ump came by the room and basically ain't have much to say to this dude, you know.
Yeah.
Ump don't like him. I love Jerome, y'all. I love Jerome's character. I mean, I like them all. But Jerome just adds. He needs to get an award too. Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Whole cast need an award. I like
Rome.
And now let me talk about my boy right here, Larry. What is up with Peaches? Do my man got corona or is he doing coke? Something is afoot, Larry. They ain't show him coughing, rubbing his nose for nothing. And then he thought that he was gonna dap up. He thought he was gonna dap up Franklin.
Franklin was like, nah.
Franklin's like, nigga, no. Well, what is it, Larry? Is it coke? Is it Rona? What's up with Peaches? Cancer? What's up?
I think it might be AIDS. This was a time period where AIDS was really epidemic, and it was a big epidemic, and there wasn't any real treatments for it, and people weren't talking about it. So I mean, it could be that. I don't know.
Well, so you saying he got a boyfriend, or you saying he slept with a woman that had HIV and gave it to him?
It could be. I mean, it could be either way. We haven't seen Peaches with anybody, so
no, we haven't.
Which doesn't surprise me, because it's not like they've really focused on his personal life at all. He's just sort of there as Franklin's muscle and his body man. So it's not like we expect to see a lot of his personal life. So, but the fact that we've never seen him with a girl or a boy, I mean, it could be that they're trying to introduce the whole thing that maybe the dude's gay and he ends up with it. That would be an interesting twist. Not that I want to see more of this, you know, but it would be an interesting twist that if it turned out that he was gay and had AIDS, and Franklin was basically like, yo, man, we need to keep this under wraps because the rest of the people around are not going to take too kindly to this, or they're going to respond in a particular way. It could be interesting to see how all that plays out. So
right. So Larry, take a look at this. The homegirl Black Fox has come back with another super chat. Black Fox, you are 1B super fan, and I greatly appreciate. She's telling y'all we've got 175 that came out on a Thursday night to see me and Larry talk we do with Snowfall season 5. Give us 175 likes, and if you really care about us, share our content. Larry's link is in the video description. Join him, and be sure to come back tomorrow when I will have Moochie and the Hammer Girls tomorrow to talk Snowfall again. And for that super chat, go ahead.
Lamont, I think we need to come up with like a special like Life Gains Avenger for the day meme for people like her, man. You super chat that much, you get to be an honorary Life Gains Avenger for the day.
And look, Black Fox, anytime you want to be on this channel, all you gotta do is hit me on IG. And this is for you, even though it's not Thanksgiving.
Not deserve this type of care though. What's she gonna do that look? I love potato. She trying to stir it up. Balls deep on y'all. Ah, no, girl, we get lactose. We all eat all that cheese. Karen, just Uber Eats me. She's gonna try, look at her. She gonna cross her legs like it's on the motherboard at church. Girl, that shit ain't innocent. You done raped the whole turkey. Milk.
I appreciate you, Black Fox. That was a great super chat, and I'm very, very grateful. So, Larry, the gig is up. The gig is up. They know Melo is thirsty for that crown. He's making stupid mistakes, and they meet him in a back alley with his Carmelo car again. And he tells them, look, this is where you can get the drop on Scully. He's going to see the therapist, And Larry, the therapist, is fucking fake ass Miss Cleo. Talking about he going to see a therapist. Anyway, Larry, so he gives them the address. Louie negotiates $100,000 out of his ass, right? He was only going to give her 50 to take out Scully. She negotiated 100. And then Larry, they show up outside fake ass Miss Cleo's house. And this was funny as hell to me. I'm just dying laughing. Said, what does she know we about to do it?
Okay, so that's what I love about dude, man. His character on so many levels, he's like this big gladiator who will fight into the death. The dude's a killer when he needs to be, but even though he doesn't like doing it, but he's at the same time, he's so innocent in a lot of ways, you know.
And so Larry, she gets out the car, goes see Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo start talking Creole, and damn if Louie ain't know some Creole her damn self, and gave her the money, and she let her in the house.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, Larry, here come your boy, Scully. Comes in, they pull the guns on him.
Scully had a suit on.
Hey, bro, he for real in here with this fortune teller. He for real. And they tell Scully, we hate to do this to you, but Mello told us what you was going to do to us. Larry, break this down for me, man, because did you think this was it for Scully?
Yeah, man. I feel like I was nervous for Scully at this point because I was like, man, I felt like Unc and Louie were feeling the pressure at this point, and I was like, man, if they don't have to worry about getting that price down, they're going to be straight, and this might be willing. This is where Scully might really lose it. It might be his time. But then I was like, nah, dude walked out of that room. He had Louie dead to rights in the hospital and spared her life. She can't take him out. She can he can get taken out, but not by those two. And it's not going to be by their hand.
Exactly.
So,
fact. 100% facts, man. I feel
like they're square now. I feel like they're square now, but to the point almost where they should feel a kinship with each other now. I mean, it's like he let her go, she let him go, and they both sort of saved each other's lives. They should be squared up where nobody owes anybody anything, but they should also probably feel a bit of kinship, so they're not just like, okay, the books are balanced. Now we can go back to trying to kill each other again. I hope it's not there.
So you have that scene, and then they cut to a damn commercial. I was like, man, y'all got the boy.
Don't they do that at the worst times?
Bro. And then Larry, immediately after the commercial, this is what we got.
Now, come on, Scully. You know me. You already know she came to me with this whole plan. Where's your spirit? Through God, we shall do valiantly. For it is he that shall trample down our enemies. Take these niggas back to the White Room. I want to test it out.
Larry, I don't even know what the White Room is, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
This nigga quoting scriptures right after he killed somebody. Then you're going to go to the White Room, and I'm sure that the White Room is a room that's going to get stained up with blood. But this was funny as hell, too. Did you see the way and Louie was just sitting there looking as he snapped homeboy? They just sitting there like, I'm going to just eat my damn tater chips and sit here and act like nothing is happening. Talk about that, Larry. This was a great episode, man. I mean, just top to bottom, this thing was fire. And I'm with you, Larry. They should be even, but we can't say that. Scully let them keep the $100,000. I mean, the average person like, man, I'm taking that. But Scully is in his mythological feelings right now. He let them keep the money. Talk about it, Larry.
I just want to let everybody out there know who doesn't know this yet. If you're contemplating, let me let you know, grad school is less work than this life.
Right, it is.
Grad school is a lot less work than this life. I mean, these people have money, but they can't spend it. You know, they can't really flex like they want to. But man, this dude, I mean, Scully just snapped dude's neck. Like he caught him with that. He caught him with that uppercut, nice and clean, and then he just got on him quick, like he was an anaconda or something, and just snapped that dude's neck. That was just
snapped it,
man. And I don't know what the White Room is, but it does not. It sounds like something that Dexter has in his house. I don't know what it is. I don't want it. Don't want to be anywhere near it. But apparently he's about to get buck with it because he said, "Take him to the White Room. I want to try it out." I don't want Scully trying anything on me. You know?
I can't wait to see what the hell this is going to be because he chopped off dude's ear like Ninja Gaiden in the living room. And then was telling him not to get it on his carpet. I'm telling you that White Room is where he's going to slice up bodies and probably put pictures on the wall like fucking light-skinned eyes tapestries on on Bel Air. That's what he's going to do. When in that White Room, the White Room is going to be red. It's going to be the red room when he's done with it. And I can't wait to see that. Next week can't get here quick enough. And then
I don't want to see that room.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready. Let's see it. We'll end on this, ladies and gentlemen, me and the homie Larry. This is when we had the family squabble where Franklin, he broke it down for Louie. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm caking up for Louie, but I got to admit, I feel like Franklin was right in this situation. I do. I do. Larry, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. He's right. He was like, look, I let you guys try and go do your thing, and it's not working out. You need to come back into the fold. You want to go off and be independent. I let you go be independent, and it's not working out. So now you need to bring yourself back home, and we're all going to be stronger together. But I'll tell you this. I think the one person that's either going to be really Franklin's biggest asset or his biggest liability is going to be Leon. Because out of all of them, Leon is the one that was basically like, I don't care what you're doing, brother. You tell me to push the weight, I'm pushing the weight. Don't tell me what to do with my money. Don't tell me what to do at all, period. I don't even want to be in this game, but you're telling me I have to be in the game. So I'm in the game, but you leave me the hell alone. You let me do what I'm going to do. And I think like Leon doesn't like, it's like all these people. It's not like anybody wants to run around just straight murking people, but I feel like Leon might be the one dude that Franklin might be afraid of if he actually makes Leon go back into like lion mode, because when dude was out there before he killed that kid, dude was on it. He was on that like kind of crazy tip a little bit,
Yeah. He was on one, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all coming out on a Thursday night. I don't normally do them on Thursdays, but we're going to be doing them on Thursdays, man. This is when the show come out. We got up to 185 tonight. Can we get 185 likes? Please come back tomorrow.
Can and Larry, $185 in super chats?
Hey, man, do it. Larry, give the people a prediction of what you think is going to happen next week. I've already given mine. My prediction is the White Room is going to wind up being red with blood. What do you think is going to happen next week, Larry?
Yeah, I think. Yes, we're gonna see some stuff with Scully. It seems like they're putting Scully front and center this season, which I think is interesting. It tells me either one, they're gonna kill him off at the end of the season, and so they're giving him his shine this year. They're gonna make him a central character, but then he's gonna get taken out, or maybe they're gonna blow his character up even bigger for the following season. I think he's probably getting blown up because they're gonna take him out. That's what usually happens when these things go, But I think probably in the next episode, we're going to see probably Louie and Unc come home. I think they're gonna have to have a conversation. Unc is probably going to sit down with Louie and talk to her and be like, look, I feel what you're feeling, but we don't really have that much of a choice. We can act like we're mad at Leon, but really mad at Franklin, but really what it is the CIA telling us what to do. They're telling Franklin what to do. Franklin's telling us what to do. So we can be mad at him, but it's really the CIA that we need to be mad at. And since we can't go up against the government like that, we just need to go on home. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Right.
We'll probably see that happen next episode.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. We will be back next week. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. I'll be here tomorrow with the ladies, and you know they love to get turned up on Friday night. So you might as well come and see all that action.
I'm going to come through one of these days. I can't come through tomorrow night, but I'm going to come through one of these days with the ladies just to cause some problems again.
Oh God, Lord have mercy. No.
I'm going to come through just causing problems
God.
and then leave.
Oh, God. Lord have mercy. You better know Moochie got a hammer for you, brother. She got a hammer. I'm telling you, and she ain't scared to use it.
Me and Mooch are supposed to do that Magic Johnson show, the Lakers show. We're supposed to do something with that. She hit me up a while back and asked me if I want to do it. So I think I might get on there with her.
I encourage y'all to do more teaming up because there's a lot of great things on TV that people want to follow, and one or two YouTubers can't do them all by themselves.
Yeah.
You've got that. Dave Chappelle is doing a comedy special on Netflix right now where he's going through some of his buddies that was comics. He just did the one with Earthquake. And when I tell you that shit was funny, I'm trying to figure out a way to on Netflix.
Okay.
It's funny, man. It is funny. For those that ain't know, Earthquake was on the original Comic View and BET. Dude is funny as hell. Yeah. And you've got to go to Netflix and check that out so that when I do my review, we can all have a good laugh. So,
and people were worried about Dave Chappelle because they were talking about they're going to try and cancel him. Netflix just re-signed him. Just re-upped his contract. So anybody who was worried about that, don't need to worry.
Not only that, but they gave him production control, creative control. They gave him all kinds of control. Yeah. You know, so yeah, man. So you guys don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Larry on Instagram. Follow us both on Twitter as we want to get our numbers up and we want to have more ways to communicate with you all. Till tomorrow, people. I'll see you. Yeah, man.